So when you guys think of Mrekk, you're probably thinking that he's just an aim one trick. He can just play aim maps, Quaver, Crescendo, playing DT on these aim maps, Ghost Rule. He's just basically an aim player, right? And you're not really thinking that he's not really much of a speed player. Even Mrekk has a bit of a mind block for himself where he compares himself to people like a Kolibet or maybe Saizo, all the other speed players, and he's like, damn, I can't play speed for shit. How am I the #1 Osu player when I can't even def stream 200 BPM for more than like 100 notes? Like, he's basically pissed off about this one aspect about him in speed and Osu game. I do think that it is probably his limiting factor, assuming that his speed is actually a lot worse than his aim, because we are in a speed meta, right? To gain PP in this Osu meta is to play a lot of speed. You can play aim, but it's just more efficient to play speed, as we can see in the top 10, where pretty much majority of the top 10 players are speed players, right? But in this video, I want to give you guys some of my own thoughts on the subject of Mrekk playing speed and the race to #1 between Mrekk and Kolibet. I mean, this race has been a little died down lately because the Kolibet hasn't really been playing. We haven't really seen anything crazy from a Kolibet. Like, ever since a Kolibet got #1 and took it from Mrekk for literally a week, Mrekk has just been continuing to twerk and just play more maps and just choke 1.8k. He's getting 2k PP chokes. Like, he's just absolutely popping off lately. Like, Mrekk, he had a bit of a bout of lack of improvement, but now he's just come back after chill maxing for his friends, and he's absolutely just going god mode on a lot of maps right here. As I did say in the beginning of this video, one of Mrekk's limiting factors is his speed, but what I actually saw recently is that we saw some score posts on the Reddit Osu game where he's actually getting some pretty crazy speed plays, like Mo Ikai, Akasha, and Black or White, which are some crazy speed maps. Like, it's not really an FC on Akasha, but these maps are pretty insane. And I remember he also had a pretty good score on the Necrophantasia map on Dementori, which is also a crazy speed map. And I really want to ask the question here, will Mrekk stay #1 again? Because Mrekk, he's been #1 for like almost 3-4 years now, and he recently got his #1 position, his streak, his edging session for Osu game for staying #1. He's recently gotten broken by a Kolibet, where a Kolibet just started twerking on the maps and just getting 1.5Ks on over the top and taking over Mrekk. And I just want to ask, can Mrekk stay #1 again for a couple more years? I mean, seriously, Mrekk, his limiting factor is playing speed, like, is actually improving a lot more, because as we see from these speed maps like Akasha, Black or White, Moikai, these maps are very speed heavy. Some top players in the top 10 could probably replicate them, maybe not Akasha, Moikai probably, Black or White, like a lot of other speed players can play these, but Mrekk's speed is slowly catching up compared to a Kolibet. And if Mrekk actually gets to a point where he can also farm the same maps as a Kolibet, starts pushing his speed even more, like, Mrekk's speed is honestly pretty good compared to the average Osu player, but compared to the best speed players in the world, it's not really optimal. But if Mrekk keeps grinding his speed and keeps pushing it alongside of his aim, like, we could probably see 3000 PP potential for Mrekk here, and Mrekk can just continue to gap everyone's forehead and stay #1 for a really long time. Like, it'll be absolutely insane if Mrekk could hop on over the top in sidetrack day like a Kolibet here and just get like 1500, 1700 runs on these maps. Like, maybe if Mrekk gets a 2000 PP on sidetrack day, but honestly, this is a bit of speculation on my part because we don't really have any crazy evidence on viewing this battle between Mrekk and a Kolibet here. But just what we're seeing recently in this very local term where Kolibet is not really playing that much and Mrekk is just continuing to grind and choke a lot of maps and especially play a lot more speed, I think that there's a lot more bullish indicators for Mrekk to continue to stay #1, especially if he keeps grinding the speed, because speed is a limiting factor, right? He can't really play a lot of speed rounds like the other players can, but if he keeps pushing the speed and gets to a point where he can combine the speed and aim aspects, he could get like 2000 PP plays or something. It would just be crazy. Like, he could just get 2000 PP plays on the regular and you get that $2,000 bounty. Like, it's just absolutely insane for what Mrekk is going on right now. And that's just pretty much my thoughts on this whole topic of Mrekk could stay #1 again for a long time. I do think it's very possible, like, especially for what's happening in the short term right now. If Mrekk continues to destroy this mind block that he's not a good speed player and just start grinding even more, and alongside of his aspect of being more hungry to keep #1, I think pattern wise, a Kolibet is not really playing that much. I don't really know what's going on with him, but if he was really that hungry to stay #1 and to push for his #1 and take it back from Mrekk, he would really just be grinding right now, right? We don't really see him grinding. It's just Mrekk grinding out here silently in #1 position. So I do think that it is very possible that Mrekk could stay #1 for the next couple years or so. Maybe not years, maybe like next couple months, but like at least for the next couple weeks is very doable that he'll stay #1, because the gap between Mrekk and a Kolibet is actually getting a little higher and higher, even though it is still very small right now. Mrekk is just choking a lot more maps than a Kolibet and is able to FC more maps. I mean, choking is not really a good thing to FC, but if he FCs these maps that he's actually choking on, the gap between Mrekk and the Kolibet will just absolutely get insane, especially alongside the motivation and speed buff. But that's pretty much my thoughts on this whole subject. If Mrekk could stay 1. And before I end this video, I just want to say that regarding me and Mrekk's relationship, I personally don't have anything against Mrekk, bro. Like, he can just keep doing him. I really like the person, honestly. I like Mrekk. Like, whenever he watches streams, I do think it makes me laugh, or I don't know why I'm saying think, but it makes me giggle what he's doing here. But I have nothing against him. He can keep doing him, and I'm just gonna keep being me, where I can just freaking keep making these videos that I find interesting. Like, it doesn't matter what I find relationship wise with other players, as long as I find the whole subject interesting and I find something to talk about, I'm gonna make a video about it, because that's the whole point of this channel, is commentary based for Osu Game. And also, this video today, I just did not have any motivation to upload it, but I'm just gonna say that I was fighting my demons in my head, where I was like, dude, like, I already uploaded like earlier today, but I want to make up for yesterday where I didn't upload because I was out with my friends last night. So here I am making a freaking another video today, because I have to make up for that lack of work right there. And I'm just kind of mad at myself for this whole subject, where I missed that yesterday, and now I'm just fighting my demons to upload this. But that's kind of like a life lesson for you guys, where sometimes you just have to do the work, especially when you don't feel like it, because that is a small roadblock where you can find the most success even when it is a very slow time. But that's pretty much all I want to say in this video about this, and yeah, I'll see you guys.